Last week, we had data miners uncover images in a Hi-Fi Rush update that indicates the game is coming to the Switch and the PS5. Now we have reports of some AAA Microsoft titles coming to PS5. What games are we talking about and when could we expect them? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And when the data mine for Hi-Fi Rush came out last week, I think most players saw that game as an obvious choice for Microsoft to make multi-platform. I mean, you already have games like Cuphead pretty much on all platforms. However, it looks like some much bigger titles are also coming to at least the PS5 and maybe Nintendo's next system. First, let's look at this report from XboxEra.com. The headline here states, exclusive, Microsoft plans Starfield launch for PlayStation 5. And Xbox Era has been pretty reliable in the past, so let's take a little look at the article here. It says, for many weeks, rumors have persisted regarding Microsoft's intentions to release a number of first-party games, namely Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves, on rival platforms. According to our sources, who have asked to remain anonymous because they were not authorized to talk about company plans, that list of games also includes Bethesda Game Studios' Starfield. Now, in case you didn't know, Microsoft owns Bethesda, and their big game, Starfield, came out in September of last year, just about 5 months ago. So if it is true that Microsoft is looking at bringing Starfield to the PS5, when could we see that happen? Well, in the article here it says, according to sources, we understand that currently Microsoft are planning a launch for Starfield on PlayStation 5 post the release of the already announced Shattered Space expansion for Xbox and PC, which is on target to arrive at some point later this year. We've also been informed that Microsoft have made additional investment into PlayStation 5 dev kits to support ongoing development efforts, adding further fuel to the fire. So Starfield could drop on PS5 maybe a year after the Xbox version. And the article doesn't mention if the Shattered Space expansion would be available day one on the PS5 version. So that is one AAA game from a Microsoft-owned studio that could end up being a timed exclusive for Xbox. But we also have a second report of a AAA game from a Microsoft studio still in development that could launch nearly at the same time on other systems. We have this report here from The Verge. Microsoft weighs launching Indiana Jones on the PS5. Now, according to this article, this isn't planned to launch at the same time as the Xbox version, but there may not be a very long delay until the game shows up on PS5. Looking at the article here, it says, while Bethesda will launch its Indiana Jones game first as an Xbox console exclusive, it's currently set to have a rather short period of exclusivity, we're told. A release for PS5 is being considered for some months later, with Bethesda tentatively targeting a December 2024 launch for the Xbox and PC versions. So we could see Indiana Jones on PS5 in the first quarter of the calendar year for 2025, if this report is true. And I have to wonder when they would make that announcement that the game is coming to PS5. Would they wait until after it launches on Xbox? Now I have to add a caveat, none of this is set in stone. If these reports are true, Microsoft could change their minds, especially after they saw some of the backlash on social media yesterday. So all of this could never really happen. So if you are seeing this video sometime in say late 2025 or beyond and are thinking, well, none of that ever actually happened, it could just be that Microsoft pulled the plug on this, what seems to be a new multi-platform strategy. Now, do I think a multi-platform strategy for Microsoft is a good idea? Well, I'm not really sure. We all know that exclusives drive console sales. In fact, according to the Famitsu sales charts in Japan last week, we even saw Palworld cause the Xbox sales in Japan to more than double the week that the game came out. So while a multi-platform strategy could in the short term increase revenue, I have to wonder if it would cause people to not bother to buy an Xbox and just wait for a PlayStation version of whatever game it is. And if you don't have people buying an Xbox, then you won't have a chance for them to subscribe to Game Pass, which seems to be most of the focus from Microsoft. And the likelihood of PlayStation or Nintendo allowing Game Pass on their system seems highly unlikely. But here we are talking about Starfield and Indiana Jones going multi-platform, so who knows? And I think part of the rub here to many of the Xbox gamers is specifically Starfield. During the Xbox and Bethesda Game Studio Summer Showcase back in 2021, Sarah Bond, president of Xbox, explicitly stated that Starfield would be an Xbox console exclusive. You can watch that right here.
To share with you for the very first time one of the most anticipated games in the world from Todd Howard and the team at Bethesda Game Studios. A groundbreaking game, and yes, it's exclusive.
So you can see how some Xbox fans would feel a bit lied to. Now Microsoft could argue that, quote, exclusive can mean timed exclusive, but I don't think anyone thought that at the time. And I have a feeling we'll see more rumors of Microsoft making more games multi-platform. Just this morning, we had Jeff Grubb mention in his podcast that Microsoft is considering bringing Gears of War to PS5. And I've seen people floating the idea of Halo ending up on PlayStation 5. So for now, I don't take anything as verified. These initial leaks could spook Microsoft into rethinking plans. But it does seem like Microsoft is really wanting to move software. If you remember back at Christmas time, the Xbox Series X was discounted down to like $350, I think mostly because Microsoft wants a larger user base. Well, making some of your AAA games multi-platform is a quick fix for this. But what do you think? Do you think that it would be short-sighted of Microsoft to make all of their best games multi-platform? Would this hurt or even kill the Xbox platform? Or do you think that really matters? If they are making the games timed exclusives on Xbox, then people will still just buy the platform to get earlier access to those AAA titles. Let me know your thoughts below. And if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so. It really does help the channel out quite a bit. I want to thank you for watching and be good.